Hello, all. Welcome back to Melon and Madam. On your way in, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Welcome, Royals. Tonight's topic is going to be about signs of toxic men, and then we have a Black History highlight, and then I have a super funny video about Mama's Boys. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We'll have our co-host introduce herself, and then we'll get started.
Hi, everybody, and happy Taco Tuesday. How's everybody tonight? Tonight.
We are doing well. We made sure to make some food. So have dinner with me. I'm having catfish and french fries that I made myself because these places is getting out of control. And my order don't be right. Y'all, we need to start making our own stuff. These people tripping.
Yeah.
So let's do the Black History Month. We'll do that one first. And it is up here. So let's take a look. There was a doctor in Nigeria who was able to cut a baby out of a mother's womb at 23 weeks and then do an operation to successfully save her and then place the baby back in the womb. And the baby made it to 36 weeks. So this is going to be history.
Oh,
It
yeah.
is something that we should know. And I think that is so amazing. It put the
Yeah.
biggest smile on my face. What do you think? Isn't this awesome?
Yeah, that's awesome. That should be on the news and everything, on all the channels.
Right? And of course, it wasn't. It's on News Africa, and it should be everywhere because that means other
Everywhere.
people can do it too. Now you don't have to. There are mothers that actually need things done and have to choose, do I ride it out and wait till after? Is it something I could wait for? But I never kind of understood if you could do a C-section and the baby, you still got to do all of this stuff. Why can't you take it out and place it back in?
They want to be the, probably they ain't saying it because they want another race to say they was the first to do it.
I wouldn't doubt it. I actually wouldn't. They're pretty good for that. However, News Africa has reported, and I think that that is amazing. Think of how many mothers can save their babies and also have a healthy pregnancy by having whatever surgery may be needed and still know that the baby is okay, so you could carry the full term and have your full experience.
That's
And
Black
shout
History.
out to them.
That's awesome.
It is. And shout out to the mama too for not being too scared to go ahead and do it so you
Right.
can enjoy your full pregnancy. And whatever the issue was, it was a tumor, but I don't know to the depths of the tumor. It's not a lot of details in what I read. But whatever the depths was, she now gets to enjoy her pregnancy as well. Who knows if it was causing pain, if it could have got bigger, where it was. Obviously was somewhere down there. But
Right.
it's a lot of things in there when you open up a woman, just so y'all know. Everything's in there. So, like guts and all that stuff. Yeesh. So, I thought that was awesome and something worth sharing that is current. So, next one, let's play this video from this lady is so freaking funny to me. She's doing a video and she gives tips. She's our elder and she gives tips on how we should date and date safely and things that we should do to protect ourselves as women. So she is pro woman. Let's watch and take notes. Take notes.
If you're in a relationship with a mama's boy, buy both of them matching pajamas. If he's a mama's boy and he doesn't want to admit, tell him that every time you guys have an extracurricular activity, needs his mommy's permission. See what he says. Write that down, that's a good one. If he's a mama's boy, every time with the smallest inconvenience, text her and say, your son left his socks on the floor. Any advice? Yes, use it to your advantage. Next time his mom calls and you pick up, put her on a speaker and call out to your boyfriend or husband. Your wife is on the phone. You have to be very brave, okay? If he's a mama's boy and every time he makes a decision without calling her, print out a certificate like a reward and just give it to him. Yeah, it might work. If he's a mama's boy and you're very brave, try to show a lot of love in front of his mom and see what happens, yeah? In a lot of cultures, the mom actually wants to sleep between the... Yeah, I'm not lying. Google it. If he's a mama's boy, you're basically the side chick. There's no hope unless he wants to change. But I think the best way is to tell him that we need some mommy free zones, like date nights, our house, our bedroom. One by one, see if you can change it. I'm not responsible for any breakups. Write that down. Put a disclaimer. Ah!
I'm not responsible for any breakups.
Girl.
It's the call your mom. Listen,
Right.
let me tell y'all why I laughed at this one, because I have dated a few mama's boys. It is a whole problem right now. But one of them literally acted like they could not do anything without their mama, or my mama said, or yeah, I was talking to my mama, blah blah blah. So when I said, okay, since you apply everything that your mother says before you talk to me, how about we ask her every time we have sex? That's just ridiculous. And everything you're doing is ridiculous. You apply it where you want to, but you don't.
Right.
So y'all just be using excuses to be a mama's boy and to not do things that you know you should do, because you know your cockeyed mama's gonna agree with you. Take notes. Here's the real gag. She's not an old lady. It's a filter. They
Oh,
have
that's a
filters for
filter.
they have filters for everything. Yep. I thought it was a real old lady. And by the time I got into like the 100th video, I saw her say, so many of you haven't figured out, I'm not an old lady. The other lady in the other video, that's me. I was like, oh my gosh. Triple side note. Did y'all, she said, Google it. She usually throws in facts too. And she said, in other cultures, some of the moms want to sleep in the bed with the married couple.
Yeah, I would have to really Google that. Who does that? Who likes that?
She
Did you
didn't say the culture. She just says Google it. So I would Google culture where mom sleeps in bed, I guess. And my biggest guess,
married? Like, is no, we're not getting married, sir.
my biggest guess would be the most intrusive that I've seen is that in the African movies, and I've heard from African people, that when the man gets married and has a home, that home is the family's home. So they could come there whenever they want to, unannounced, all of that. And that's a no for me. How do you hang from chandeliers or do things and yo, people just could walk in whenever they want to? How do they know y'all want company? Like, that's too much.
And I would make them uncomfortable.
Hey, cousin. And then, in those other cultures, because they're not the primary person or whatever, and even if they husband pass away, the stuff don't go to the wife, it goes to a son. If there's no sons, it goes to brothers. So then the mom be saying, this is my son's house, I could do this, they become over you. But they all talk about Christianity and the Bible so much. I'm like, what part of the Bible that was in? Your culture and all of those things, in my opinion, in my humble opinion, should never trump the Bible. How does that work?
Yeah. I just wouldn't be getting married because it ain't no way.
I could, but remember over there, they could make you get married.
Oh yeah.
Remember, they still practice some of those traditions with arranged marriage, or you can't stay in the parents' home, and they don't train you any further than sometimes primary school. You better, well, with social media now.
Mm-hmm.
Child, listen. In my bed. I don't care if you're sick, you're not sleeping in my bed. I will get you amazing accommodations. But it's something about the only people sleep in my bed is my kids.
And I hate
and not with me and my husband. None have ever slept. Well, Lele, I used to put her in the bed, but I would sleep. He would sleep here. I would sleep in the middle, and Lele would sleep on the side closest to the door. So when she fell asleep, Tamara could come and get her. Other than that, and now, y'all, I'm so selfish. I don't want to share my husband with nobody.
I don't want to share my bed with nobody.
For obvious reasons. I don't want to share my bed with him.
Yeah, I like sleeping by myself.
I love it.
By myself. I do not like, I hate when Amir come get in the bed with me. I don't like to share my bed at all. I like sleeping by myself. I don't get sleep when I sleep with. I don't sleep well with other people. I just don't.
Is it because they sleep wild or just the fact that somebody else is in the bed? Because sometimes after my identity was
Um,
stolen, I'd be
I
scared
think,
sometimes. So sometimes I want somebody there.
I think well, Amir sleep wild, and then if people snore and stuff, I can't go to sleep with that either. I'm a light sleeper. I used to could sleep hard, so if I went to sleep before a person, if a person snored and I went to sleep first, I would be fine. But now, no, I will literally be up all night, or I have to put my earbuds in like on 100.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Thing just went out. Sorry guys. My earpiece just went out. Sorry. Okay. Um, yeah, I don't foresee me sharing my bed with anyone. So last one on this about sharing a bed. I saw when I was looking for something for I think it was Hilda. When she was having the baby, it's this bassinet thing you can get, and it's the half of it is down, so like you could pull it up to the bed,
Oh
so the
yeah,
baby still don't sleep with you, so they're trained to still sleep in their bed, but they are close enough for the mother that's sleep deprived, breastfeeding, that type of stuff. I thought that was a cool invention
that
to have
was.
one of the sides come down.
I just put a mirror in his bassinet. I just put it next to me, like literally
Right,
next to me in the bed, because I was scared to sleep with him in the bed because the nurses
right.
at the hospital scared me so bad. I was like, oh, I ain't doing that. They
Yeah.
scared me to the max. So I was like, no, he'll sleep in his bassinet. But it was literally next to me. And like I said, I don't sleep hard no more. I wake up so fast. So anytime he would move or do anything, I would still just wake up.
Mm, okay. Well, on to the next one. So, for your entertainment, for every one of these tips that we have as signs you're dating a toxic person, this is from a professional. I did not make these up myself, but I did pull Shamar clips that are so funny and go with it to me for some of them. We need a little live entertainment. Listen, I'm not about scandals, exploiting nobody, lying on nobody, coming on here and tell my sob story. Although some people's story disclaimer really do help other people. And when they tell it, it just changed. Like Risa Tees is a really good example of that. When she told her story, it helped other people. And there are a great deal of them that do. But when I feel like it's malicious intent, I don't like it. That's what I'm talking about. So, only way I'm gonna go viral is to use viral people shit. That's very funny and sometimes not okay as a lesson. We listen and we dissect. Here we go. So, the first one is, do y'all got toxic people in your life? Yeesh. Here we go. So, you're too sensitive. So, one of the most common tactics used by not so nice individuals is gaslighting. I didn't know what gaslighting was. Gaslighting is a manipulative strategy where someone makes you question your own feelings, instinct, and sanity. Mhm. It was named after a 1944 film, Gaslight, in which a man manipulates his wife into believing she's going insane. Whoa, I didn't know that. I didn't read these in advance, guys. A classic gaslighting phrase is "you're too sensitive." This phrase attempts to shift the blame from the speaker's hurtful words or actions onto the receiver's reactions. It is a way of dodging responsibility and invalidating the other person's feelings. If a man frequently tells you that you're being too sensitive, it might be his way of undermining your experience and manipulating you into thinking that his behavior is acceptable when it's not. First of all, I would just like to say thank you, Pomona Unified School District, and all the amazing teachers that we had in the 80s and 90s, because I can read out loud.
Girl,
And I'm not afraid. I used to be so damn afraid. Y'all know when stuff used to come up before, you would count to see like which paragraph yours would run into
girl, we
and,
count in
and read
advance
the one
like
before and
what?
after.
And knowing you know how to read, but still you got to be like, oh, let me read it in advance. But still,
Who would
sometimes
do?
you read on here, sometimes you still get nervous or something. I don't know
Yes.
why. When
Yes.
you get nervous and you know how to read, but yeah, because it's a lot of people that don't know how to. I was just telling my mom about that today.
Right. And I
That,
actually
that they don't
used
know
to, that they don't know how to read.
that even with these kids, I started back on the kids. the kid thing again because
Oh,
I said I'm on spring break this week, but I had told them if they needed me, I could go to other districts. So I've been going to Barstow, and
okay.
they don't know how to read, and they were in junior
How old?
high. Junior high. I had a kid come in there today, didn't even know how to spell his first name. Junior high.
His own.
His
Sorry,
own
I
name.
just choked a little bit. His
Yeah,
own first
his
name.
own name. I was like, "What's your name?" Because when the whoever wrote it down, they didn't spell it right, and I was like, and I kept on typing it in, and then I was like, "What is your name?" And he said it, and then I was like, "How do you spell it?" Because it's not spelled right on here. It can't be because you're not coming up in the computer. And he was like, "See, I think R," and I was like, "Are you serious right now?" And he was like, I said, "Do you don't know how to spell
It
your
was
name?" He
no
was like,
hidden phone for a TikTok.
and I said, "Girl," I was so shocked. I was like, "You don't know how to spell your own name?" And the proctor behind me started laughing, and she said, "Welcome to our world." I said, "No,
Yes,
no."
that's another one
So
too,
once
mom.
I
Read
figured
or
out how,
write cursive.
yeah, but they bringing that back. But then after I figured out how to spell his name correctly, I wrote it down. I was like, "You are too old not to know how to spell your first name or your last name. Here's your whole name. You need to remember this." Like what they didn't know I'm asking some of the kids, "What's your mama's number?" Because the number in here is not in service. I don't know. This is junior high. But go
Okay,
on.
that's gonna be our topic for next week
Look, I'm
because
like, but go on.
yeah, that's gonna be our topic for next week since we have a nurse teacher to oh
Girl,
Jesus,
I
blood
just
Jesus.
be I said I can't even
That
get mad
is
at
so
the
sad.
little
These
kids
parents
where
are
I'm
not parenting.
that's what my mom said. My mom was like, "Well, you can't just get mad at the I said, "No, it's everybody, the teacher and the parent." I said
Y'all,
because
my heart is beating so fast. Do y'all knew
yeah,
I think I knew how to spell my name at 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Amir know how to spell his whole name. He knows my number. He knows my first and last name. He knows his daddy name. He knows his phone number. He knows his address.
I even knew how my cousins, when they used to pick me up from my house to take me to their house or pick me up from school, they would play a game with me and tell me where to turn. Like I didn't know the
Girl,
name of the
that's how
streets.
and Amir can do
Tell
that
me
too.
what
If we
yeah,
don't get off on certain exits, like he know how to which exits is going to my mom house.
Harley do
He know which
too.
freeway and everything. Oh, we're taking the 15 to the 10, mommy. If we get out, if we pass town avenue, he'd be like, "What, mommy? We're gonna grandma.
Oh,
We
because you passed our exit
because
for
we
Pomona.
passed the exit."
Yeah.
I'm like this, but I be like, I cannot compare Amir to other kids, but still,
Yes, you can because I knew how to do those things at that age. This is gonna we could stay on this forever because my
I know.
heart is
I said,
literally
go to
beating
something
fast.
else. Go to
It's
something
okay. Well, so back to the topic. Welcome to our
right.
homes. You're welcome. This is how real conversations go, and y'all know it. So the child, which one was that? Passive aggressive. Okay, so somebody that's not a good communicator probably sounds like this.
Be a pecker, Pecker, a Peter of Pecker, Picker, Pecker. Yeah, I'm gonna pass on this one because it's kind of hard.
They're wrong. I did not like that they did that to him though.
Oh, I didn't see the whole show. I only saw that. So
Yeah,
anybody, don't
they
come for me in
they
the
did that.
comments. I only saw that. What
Yeah, they
happened?
did that on purpose. That y'all, anybody that knows Shamar know he don't know how to read, and they gave him
Well,
that.
he was saying the words very well. I thought he was just getting tongue tied.
No, he couldn't read the thing. It was a whole thing. He couldn't read it. I was like, that was mean.
Oh, okay. Well, for context, that was to show somebody getting tongue tied and then saying, forget it. I don't understand. Yeah, that was for that, being passive aggressive. So let's move on to number 2. This one. Sorry, guys, my mouse. Here we go. I was joking. Oh, I can't stand that one. Y'all have no idea. Here's a personal example that comes to mind. A while back, I had a friend who used to say hurtful things and then brush it off with the I was just joking. Like kind of like that JK, all of that in a text message after you wrote a whole book telling about how you feel. hmm He would make snide comments about my appearance or my choices. And when I expressed my discomfort, He would dismiss it as me not being able to take a joke. The phrase, I was just joking, is often used as a cover up for disrespectful or offensive behavior. It's a way for the speaker to escape accountability for their words, making the receiver feel like they're overreaching. If a man frequently hides behind humor, using it as an excuse or belittle or insult, it is likely he is not a very nice person. It's important to remember that jokes shouldn't come at the expense of someone's feelings. Take note all of social media at this point. Most of that, I was just kidding, or I'm just saying how I feel. Well, I'm just telling the truth. That's your truth. That's first of all. It says in a Bible, and I'm sure your parents taught you everything you think don't need to be said. This is going to hurt somebody. Why are you saying it? You're lying. You're not kidding. And you're not just going off in a regular argument. Let's hear what a just kidding type of argument looks like. It'll come together in number 6 when you hear it's your fault. But this is what a conversation sounds like. And then the person apologizes or says, I was just kidding. Same difference. Let's take a listen.
I'm controlling you because I'm trying to give you fucking sight words so you can learn how to read better and count your own fucking money? You weird as fuck and you evil. Now, I'm gonna play with you. Now I'm gonna do what everybody what I should have did. You evil as fucking, you're weird, you a liar. And you use your disability to fucking ruin people. You sat here and tried to fuck that man multiple times. And every time you fucked him, try to fuck him, you try to put me out and go on the internet and act like I mistreated you. You weird as fuck. And you try to play on my platform and play with me. And I don't know why the fuck you did that. You shouldn't have even did that. You shouldn't even
Okay,
did
you
that.
said what you said. It is what it
You put
is.
clothes on yesterday and put them bitches on. And I told you to go take a fucking shower. You need to bathe your ass today.
Okay, whatever. Do what you do.
You a fucking weirdo, cheating ass, lame ass bitch. Don't even brush your teeth. You got these new teeth. Man, that means I'm uncontrollable because I be tell you what to do. I don't tell you what I try to help you so people don't talk about you. I don't want to make sure you look good. I don't want to make sure you okay. Every time I'm making sure you okay, leave your fucking house to handle your fucking business that you need to be handled, you texting other niggas on me. And you got mad because I started back posting on my OnlyFans. You don't feed me, you don't give me shit. You don't even give yourself nothing. You're weird as fuck and you're lame. And you think that God gonna keep blessing, you're lame as fuck. And now I'm gonna expose the fuck out you dirty as fuck.
Okay.
And you're dirty and you're evil as fuck.
Okay.
Dirty ass.
Do that, and I'm gonna expose you back.
You dirty as fuck. You're dirty. Expose, you don't have nothing to expose. Nothing.
So after all of that, the very next day, Alvo was crying with snot coming out and everything, saying, that's not how I really feel, gaslighting. That wasn't really, he just pushes me to the limit. He does that. No, you were definitely gaslighting because you meant everything that you said. Because how many times and how many clips and how many places have we heard this man say that? We heard him once he broke up. But I found this one that he said directly to him. But you was just kidding. It's not that serious. It's not that deep. You was just a little mad. You didn't mean all of it. Most of us probably have not experienced being talked to like that. I'm gonna go out on a whim and say, based on the women that I know and how I know that they behave, he would have been popped in the mouth as soon as he said that. I don't believe that any of the women that I'm around would allow themselves to be talked to like that. So he thought that was okay. Exactly. That's that gaslighting type shit. You do that, but you're literally at his house saying that to him. You still want to be with him. You go on the internet the next day. And I didn't want to play that one because it would have extended the show. I can just tell you. He was on the internet this morning snotting and crying. So I loved him. I did this. I did that. You're gaslighting. And you know that he's live. Waking up next week. That part. You would have clearly, I would have hit you in my former life. You would have been hit so hard you'd have landed on the sidewalk. Because who are you talking to in my shit? Because guess what? It's just as easy if you don't like somebody to not be around them. Yeah, you don't have to. I'm joking.
I do feel like, even though he was gaslighting him, I do feel like some of that stuff he probably was saying was true. But if you did feel like that, you could get out of his house.
Some of the stuff, even with gaslighting, I'm just joking, be true. You know, like if somebody, yeah, it'd be true I'm just don't have the courage to say it.
Yeah, because I believe he meant all that stuff, like you said. He said it multiple times, and Shamar know he told them the truth. But he's
Absolutely.
sitting there looking crazy.
But you see how he wasn't arguing back while
At
he
all.
was with him. He actually did like him. He did nice things for him. So I don't understand. And I think that people that gaslight or I'm just joking, they stay around because of what they can get from that person, but they really low key don't like them. And they want to take every opportunity that they can to demean them and put them down so they feel less
I
than.
don't think nobody probably really likes Shamar. Everybody's just using him. You
That's
should
not
use a
nice.
different person. I swear to God, I don't think nobody really likes Shamar. They're using him for his money. Period. Point
I
blank.
think Shekinah did. I think Shekinah
No,
did
I'm
because,
talking about as far as boyfriend wise.
well, there is one. There is one. And you're gonna get to see him tonight because it reminded me of him. So let's move to the next one so we can quick. That one is so funny to me. Now that one is funny because he don't have no sense sometimes. He don't have no sense. What was that, number 2? Let's do number 3. You're just like your mother. Immediately when you say that, we have nothing else to talk about unless
Yeah,
you are
I'll be like,
saying
what
that
is that
nicely.
supposed to be a good or a bad thing?
Mm.
I would.
Comparing a person to someone else, especially in a negative light, is a underhanded way of criticizing them. The phrase "you're just like your mother" or any other family member is usually used to pinpoint a perceived flaw or weakness. Right? Because you definitely when mm, that's a twofer. You talking about me and
And my
my
mama.
listen, sir. I got mace in a lot of rooms. Okay, don't play with me. It's interesting in that field of psychology. This is seen as a form of projection, a defense mechanism where individuals attribute their own unacceptable thoughts, feelings, or motives to another person. I'm just like my mother could mean I cuss you the out. I hold you accountable. I'm strong. You don't like those things because they don't benefit your initiative.
Mhm.
So I'll tell you something in a minute. If a man frequently uses such comparisons to belittle or criticize you, is often more revealing of his own insecurities and issues than yours. It is not only disrespectful, but also a sign that he probably isn't a very nice person. I had somebody tell me once because I gave them my opinion on what they asked me to give my opinion on, that I was acting like their mother and grandmother, and they did not have good feelings about that person. Those people. So has it happened to me? Yes, it has. But I've started to apply, especially if you're going to be on social media, and it gets them every time. When people say things like trying to offend me, I take it and I flip it into a good comment in my head and I respond as if they said something good. Like I had one person tell me I don't know shit, and I responded and said, "You're right. I have no idea who shit is. I don't know that person." The person got so confused that they left me alone because they couldn't figure out what I was talking about. I went back and forth like 3 times. I was like, well, you said it. Read what you wrote. It's no punctuation or anything. You just said that. I didn't say that. You said that. Use people's words on them. How about that? That's sad. Very sad. That's crazy. Extremely. That was a very abusive relationship for him to be acting. And then to say about God, very weak. You have to be a weak person to do something like that. Saying you gotta flip those. Mom, don't laugh because you know who that person was, okay? Don't do that. Number 4. Now here's where it gets bad. Hold on. I knew it wasn't gonna work again. Hold on. Let's see. There is no damn 4. Oh, I think I skipped 4. I didn't like 4. So we're at 5. I'm very sorry. If you love me, you would. Now, how early in life does this one start? This phrase is an emotional trap that tugs at your heartstrings. It is often used to coerce or guilt trip someone into doing something they aren't comfortable with. By questioning your love or loyalty, the speaker forces you into a corner where any refusal could be seen as a rejection of them. Same person did this to me, y'all. When a man frequently uses this phrase, it is a sign he's manipulating your feelings to get his way, rather than respecting your boundaries and independence. Love isn't about controlling or forcing someone to prove their affection. It's about respect, understanding, and mutual agreement. So if you hear this phrase often, it takes take it as a sign that he probably isn't a very nice person. Have you ever had that happen to you, Rose?
Not if you love me, you would do it, but like you're my girlfriend, you supposed to do it. So I guess
That's
is that
different.
the same thing? Yeah,
Mm.
but it's not if you love me and do it. It's like, well, you my
But it's the
girlfriend,
same
you
thing. If
do
this,
it.
then that.
Yeah.
Did you do what the person asked you to do?
Can't nobody make me do nothing.
Me either. Mm-mm.
If
Me
I want to
either.
do it, if I don't, I'm not. You can't guilt
Mm-hmm.
me or nothing.
Mm-hmm. And I instead reversed it and said, every time you ask me that, I feel like you're being disrespectful. Because my no's are my no's, my yeses are my yeses. When I have hard stops, that should be respected. I don't care if I'm in a relationship. I don't care what it is. If I say no, and that's a hard stop, that means it's not up for discussion. But I will explain to you why, but you don't care because you keep asking me. And I don't think that that's fair. So, very interesting when this professional article came up. I felt some kind of validation in that I was okay to say that my
Right.
nose were my nose. Because, little boys will tell you, you're in a relationship. So, when people love each other, they should be free to explore and do whatever they want to do. Well, when we're in a relationship, maybe you should buy me a house. If you can have everything out of me, why can't I have everything I want? That's what you're
Right.
telling me. That despite me being not wanting to do that, it making me unhappy, that if I did it for you, you would be focused more on the fact that you got what you wanted versus the hurt that this would cause me. You say, child, don't do it, young ladies. Don't. And it's very hard. So get angry first. Write that down. hmm Number 6. You can't take a hint. In my past, I've encountered a man who would often avoid direct communication, instead resorting to vague hints or passive aggressive behavior. Whenever I tried to address an issue, he would deflect, with can't you take a hint? Is that how you respond to people? This phrase is a sign that the person might not be willing to engage in clear, open, and honest communication. It's an attempt to shift blame and make the other person feel guilty for not understanding their indirect cues. Communication is a crucial part of any relationship, and a person who frequently avoids it or belittles you for seeking clarification isn't showing you the respect you deserve. It's a sign that he might not be as nice as he seems. Hmm. I've never had that one.
I was just about to say I ain't never had nobody say that.
Not like that. I've only had where they thought they communicated something and still basically the way I am. And I've had to improve on it. But that comes with growing with somebody where you learn their indirect cues. You don't know them at the
Mhm.
beginning. And if you tell me, uh, I really don't like that, that doesn't mean I don't like it. It means
Right.
I'll try it. Like I didn't get the cues. And then the person said, I've told you this before. And I was like, when did you tell me that? You've never told me that. Uh-huh. When I said this, I meant that. Well, why didn't you just say
Just
that?
say
Why
that.
don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't get it. So I still apologize. I actually apologize because I didn't get it. And some things, if you care about the other person, it can go into if you care about the other person, then you will be like, okay, I could get maybe that was a tough conversation for you, and that was you trying to start the conversation. Um, But I did pick up the cue that he had mentioned it 3 times. So on the third time, I was like, wait, you keep saying this. And then we talked about it. So it's fair, but I've never had anybody tell me directly, you didn't get that. I don't know. So, um, that one, we already did the one about being too sensitive, right?
I gotta look.
I think we did.
I think was that like one of the first ones?
It was. So, look, when you're dating somebody, they are not. Let's go back to that one real quick. You are not supposed to make somebody feel bad. You definitely don't discuss certain things in front of people, and you definitely don't do it while you're live. Let's take a look at Shamar rejecting somebody. Yes, Shamar rejected his boyfriend in front of everybody. And then the auntie had the nerve to slide by with her big back tail and rub Shamar on the shoulders as if Shamar was the one hurt. Mm. Sometimes he do be cutting up too, y'all.
Oh, he cuts a lot.
We are. You keep wanting to kiss every time, baby. We already don't kiss. How many times you want to kiss? How many times do you want to kiss? You do me like that? I'm not doing you like that. I'm just saying we've been kissing too many times. That's what I'm saying. You don't know. You do all together, but we don't have to kiss every time. Shit like that. We can kiss one time and leave it at that. Like you kiss me every time, like every time you kiss me, turn around, kiss me, turn around, kiss me. It's like you ain't like I'm about to go somewhere. I'm not about to go nowhere. Don't say that I'm just gonna leave you and go somewhere like onto another state or anything else, because I'm not there. I'm not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. I promise you I ain't going nowhere.
I don't have nothing nice to say, so I'm gonna be quiet.
Leroy did what? Y'all got to type full stuff. I'll be at the next thing or call.
I don't got nothing nice to say.
It would have taken nothing for you just to kiss that man. Why did you have to be mean like that? I don't understand. That was mean.
How do Shamar he keep him a man? I can say that.
Baby. And
Like,
that one really liked him. That one really liked him.
I forgot about him too. Yeah, he really did like Shamar.
Only one we never seen use him. They both were developmentally a little bit delayed.
And that's what he has to get. That's the kind of person he's gonna have to be with for it to be somebody not to play with him and trying to get something. I was just about to say that, but I didn't know if that would sound mean or something. But that's what he needs. He needs a person that's the same as him. That's exactly what he needs.
And that's on Mary Had a Little Lamb.
That's what he gonna have to
and
get.
alkaline water.
None of these normal people, because a normal person, come on, let's be real. They're playing him, a normal person, and then I'll just leave it at that because I don't need to get canceled.
A person with all of their skill sets. Yeah,
they're playing him.
I agree, but Albo doesn't have all of his. He just has better ones. But let's keep it a buck. There's something wrong with him too.
If he doing what he doing, is something wrong with him.
That part, while he trying to act like he's so much better. Yeah, you're not, buddy. So next case, number 7. You always or you never. I don't really like those terms unless it literally is always. I don't like those terms because that means you counting to me. And I just think it's better ways to communicate, and your word choice needs to be, because it could hurt somebody. It can hurt somebody. These are sweeping generalizations that are rarely, if ever, accurate. They're often used to criticize or blame without considering the nuances of the situation. Baby, my word in life is nuances, because it is. If I tell you no for something today, if something changes tomorrow and you asking me, I might say yes. Why did I say yes then versus saying yes now? Because maybe the situation changed.
Yeah, maybe I feel better
Duh.
today.
Girl,
Yeah, I feel
it
better.
could, and it could be that. And it could be that. Um, I can't stand that one. You always are, you never, or which one? If y'all, I keep doing that because for some reason my screen keeps changing colors. If a man frequently uses phrases like "you always mess up things" or "you never listen to me," he's not providing constructive feedback or trying to resolve the issue. They never are. They just want to tell you where you're wrong because they just
Mhm.
want to be right so damn bad. Instead, he's resorting to blaming and criticism, which can harm your self-esteem and the health of your relationship. Y'all, if you want to know, it was a time I used to be like, okay, give me an example of that. I'll consider what you're saying. Why I always got to provide an example? I don't know, because you said it and I want to understand you. I'm so sorry. Such generalizations are unfair and unkind. If they're a regular feature in your conversation, it may be a sign that he isn't a very nice person. Hmm. Well, again, I did not bring these up because just in case that person is watching, I did not write these myself. I told you, when you go to therapy and do the work, some of these things you actually take heed and you use them in your life and you try to be solution based. That's right. So let me play you a video because Shamar made Alvo dinner while he was talking about I cooked for him and I cleaned for him and his bed was nasty and this was nasty and that was nasty. So let me see if y'all pick out the same thing that I picked out that I would probably go nuts about if you were eating. Let's just watch. It's a couple of things he didn't do. Let's see.
Yeah, daddy. Yeah, it tastes good, huh? Real tastes real good. Real tastes real good. Okay, my man gonna eat every time he come over here, baby. Yeah, good food, baby. Yeah, they can't cook like you, bitch. They can't cook like Big Marco.
That looked like what I give Amir.
Even if it do, he says Shamar could not take care of himself. Shamar don't do nothing for him. Shamar house is nasty. Shamar house is this and that. It's something you did in that bed that would have
Wipe
sent me
your
through the
hands
roof.
on your clothes.
I didn't see you get up and wash your hands after your hands been on this bed that you supposedly said got shit all over it because the shit is always coming out of his butt and everywhere. Then why you not washing? And I don't see no sheets on that bed and you laying right on that bed. Why you didn't put no sheets on that bed? And I didn't see you pull that plate up to make sure that if any crumbs drop, they hit that plate instead of that blanket. So when you're talking about rat or roaches and ants and all these other things, we just saw you create them, sir. So how are you talking about somebody else? See that always and you never? It can look like that sometimes because you're a liar.
Right.
And we watched you drag this man because of exactly what we just saw you do. That bed didn't look nasty to me, but it looked like why are you laying on it without and we know that when we washing our sheets and stuff, usually you take your comforter and if you have a chair in your room, it's thrown on there or it's laying on the floor or it's doing something like that, but you're not wrapped up in it and you laying in the bed with your clothes on. And I'm sure you done been outside and you just did you just get catfish flakes on my bed?
No, that ain't catfish flakes. That look like chicken nuggets.
It looked like chicken nuggets to you? I thought it was cat. Yeah. Either way, it's crumbs.
That I'm just saying it was a little kid meal. But to you, what you saying? He don't know
Shut
how
up.
to.
That's what I'm eating right now, Rose. Oh no, I'm eating catfish and French fries right now. No chicken nuggets
It's
today.
nothing wrong with it, but I'm not. That's for a child, a 6-year-old.
It is. What does that have to do with the topic, Rosetta? That you mad
Nothing.
about the plate? What does
I'm
that have
like
to do?
nothing.
I don't understand. Why are you testing
I'm like,
my patience? Why are we talking about that? I love chicken strips. I eat them everywhere I go.
oh, I'll
Uh,
eat chicken strips, but not chicken nuggets.
I'll eat chicken. I'll fuck chicken nuggets up. I love chicken
Oh,
nuggets
really? Okay, let me be quiet then.
from but I'm a chicken girl. So I love the
I
things
like chicken,
that
but I won't eat chicken nuggets. I just think that that's for kids. I'll eat chicken strips.
I prefer chicken nuggets over chicken strips. You don't like chicken nuggets from Wendy's? They're actually seasoned and
Oh,
everything.
yeah, I do like those. I do like those,
Yes, yeah, they're
but
good.
I won't
And
eat them nowhere else.
at Crab Bucket too. They're made
I
with
never
all
had
white
none
meat.
at Crab Bucket, but I will eat the ones from Wendy's. You're right. I will
Okay,
eat those up.
okay. So still don't wipe your hands on my bed. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
don't do that. That was nasty.
you.
As soon as he did that, I was like nasty. So
It's a no for me. Absolute no. Absolute no. Let me see. And that was number 7. This is should be number 8. Let me see. It is. My favorite one, all of them are for actually, because we need to watch how we talk to people. It's all your fault. This is possibly the most destructive phrase in any relationship. It is a clear attempt to shift all blame onto the other person, absolving oneself of any responsibility. A man who frequently blames you for everything that goes wrong isn't just being unkind, it is displaying a lack of empathy and unwillingness to acknowledge his own faults. It is a significant sign that he probably, sorry, isn't a very nice person. Remember, in any situation, it takes two to tango. No one is entirely blameless or wholly at fault. Facts. A person who truly cares about you would aim for understanding and resolution rather than placing blame. I will have to say that that is true. That is true. What do you think, Rose? I
I think that one is true too.
think so too. So when you say it's entirely your fault, like if somebody goes off on you and says I'm going off on you because it's your fault, this is what it's looking like in today's social media when they expose you and then claim to be so godly, possibly ask for money on live. Let's watch.
I told you leave me the fuck alone. I tried to love your cricket body ass, but you couldn't understand my love. Maybe because you leaning closer to hell and the devil was whispering to your motherfucking hip and made you treat me how you treat me. But bitch, you should have seen the angel. But you couldn't see the angel because you too busy leaning and I'm evil, bitch. I know you evil, bitch. You look evil, bitch. You a booger. You Saint booger. You came right out of saying asshole ass bitch. I'm tired of you keep on tooting and thinking that you clocking T's. You ain't clocking shit, but you go clock a motherfucking shower and leave me the fuck alone because I wasn't bothering you, bitch. I was minding my own motherfucking business. You can't fucking with me. Cricket ass bitch. I just need $100 on Cash App. I wasn't even bothering him. I was minding my own business. Y'all see me minding my own business. Y'all see me minding my own business. Please don't tell me you own something. I ain't on nothing. I ain't on nothing, baby. I ain't on nothing but good dick, morals, principles, and business, bitch. That's what I'm.
I am so confused.
First of all, he came for Shamar. Everybody saw it and it was on a TV show. He's lying. So he just lies so much about things that people can see. But did
But
you
who
really
was he
just
asking for the $100 from? From the people watching the live or for Shamar?
Yes. Yes. Yes, he be on there asking for money while he talk. So again, you claim that you wasn't with Shamar for his money, but the first thing you did was go to the internet and start asking for money. But how you make it like it's Shamar's fault? You came looking for me. You're a liar. No, he didn't. You came looking for him. But what does that really have to do with the price of tea in China? Shamar got all the boys going crazy.
Yes,
Baby,
I do not get that, girl. Like
baby.
that's crazy to me. Okay, but what do he mean? I was minding my business. Is this what he was talking about When he first met Shamar or after they was fighting?
All the times he came for Shamar. Even
No,
when,
when
okay,
he was saying you came for me.
all the times he's talked, I don't know, but
Oh.
all the times he came for Shamar, I know that.
Mhm.
Um, this was, it was closer to the end. This was at the end when he was going off. But oh my back. What was I saying? Um, he got all the boys going crazy, acting like that. So yes, he came straight to the internet and started asking for money. But you're the same person that said you wasn't with Shamar for his money, but now that you're not around him, you asking for money. That literally makes no sense. And then did you just turn around like it's no fault of your own? Even if he came for you and wanted to be with you, what role does that play in the relationship? Who cares
Right.
who goes for who? So that gives you a right to treat him a certain kind of way, or somebody that comes for you has to be perfect. You don't have to be perfect. Everybody's going to have faults, or not even faults, just adjustments to a relationship, things that you're learning about each other. So is there always someone at fault? No. Do y'all know that a person that gets cheated on, even a wife, even a husband, there's sometimes something in there that that other spouse could have done differently to contribute. Sometimes. Some people just gonna do it no matter what. But there are some times that there are things in there that you could have done differently. Even if it's when we were together, he was cheating or she was cheating. After we got married, they was cheating. So then why'd you marry him? So you're still at fault.
Right.
You went into the marriage. You get what I'm saying? So it's not a real fault. It's a learning thing. And if you can't accept that, how do you get better or do things differently if you skip over the part where you could have done something differently? Doesn't mean you're wrong. It just means you may have contributed or you may have placed yourself in a situation. So he's saying he should be paid for being with Shamar. Of course.
What
So
was he doing before? What was he doing before he got with Shamar?
working at a regular job, but then when he started hanging around Shamar, he stopped going to work. He started calling out
Oh,
to always be going with Shamar everywhere, every time. And with his bookings and all of that other stuff. It was one clip of him saying, like, him and Shamar was coming home and he was like doing a thing for TikTok or whatever. He was like, "Babe, are you ready to be at home?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm ready to be in our bed." And he was like, "Yeah, I gotta come back in and then I'm going back out." What purpose do you have to be there with him? Or if you are the person that is helping keep things in line, although I don't know how you keep the things in line, and you lost your job, apartment, got a bondsman, you clearly don't make good decisions as
yeah.
well. But you, because you can read, you now think that you are better than him and that you can count. Never mind when you was counting his money back to him, you was counting maybe a 5 when it was truly a 20 and you was shortchanging him. Clock that to you. Mm-hmm. They got proof he was stealing from Shamar, doing that, counting the money different than what it was. So you really wasn't teaching him nothing. You wanted to see every contract and all of that because what? It gives you access to his pay. You wanted to bed yourself in there so that you can go wherever he went. But name one trip you pay for on your own. You didn't pay. He had to pay. So you were a cost to him. If that's something you wanted and it was going well, which you didn't even give it enough time to, why wouldn't you sit down with him and say, "Hey, why don't I be the manager? I get this amount of bookings and I leave my job." And why didn't you have a conversation instead of thinking, "Oh, if I start doing these things,"
Automatically.
that's not business, Rose. How many people have we helped just because we're helping them? Do we think that they should pay us, or is it fair for them to assume that? And if you my man and I'm paying for everything everywhere we go, you eating different than when we met. I showed y'all the picture of how he looked before. You eating different. What does Shamar do? Entertainment. So he'll be on different podcasts. And he was on a couple of songs, and that's what he does. So he's been doing it for a very long time, but his stuff just popped off. And when it did, this guy was right there, right there. Bookings for what to do, well, at clubs you do like celebrity walkthroughs and stuff like that. So you're the celebrity that brings people to come out. That's number one of the things that he does. The other things he does is again sit on podcasts. and have conversations. Unfortunately, mostly when they have him on those type of things, is really just to, they're not laughing with him, they're laughing at him. It's not right. Um, but to be fair, some of it is so cute. It's almost looking like at a kid sometimes because he has political views. It's things that you can tell. He's one of those people that if you say something around him enough, he'll pick it up and start saying that same thing too. But sometimes when he explains it inside out. So you can see like the pureness of his heart. I think that's the most authentic part of him. So I don't laugh. I'd be like, this dude. So yeah, kind of like that. But that's what he does. And he just featured on a really big song. And it was before he got with this Alvo guy. And then Alvo messed that up because he wanted more control of certain things and convinced Shamar that the person that gave him a chance and was on the song wasn't treating him right and stuff like that, thinking that Shamar was big enough on his own and messed up that whole thing. Girl put the song down and everything, and he was really on his way. So
Mhm.
people also convince him to do things that he shouldn't do when they're trying to get more control over his money. It ain't right. So why you talking about God? And we literally watched this happen, sir. You went live a lot of times. You will never go to his platform and see him talking about anything but Shamar. He done been on Tasha K now. So now he think he's somebody. He was in Houston over the weekend saying, oh, do y'all know me? Do y'all know me? I'm Shamar's boyfriend. How was you just in Houston doing that? You're out of line, sir. But that's not a user. That's completely a user to me. Because
Mhm.
my mama said, when you don't fuck with nobody, you don't fuck with them. That
And
means you don't
everybody
accept
know who you
nothing.
are. Like everybody know who you are if they know Shamar.
Once they said that, then they're like, oh, you so funny. You don't want to be saying blah, blah, blah. But by him saying, that's my boyfriend, he actually had to say it quite a few times. And people recorded him saying, oh, when he just walked in to get a section, he said, I'm Shamar's boyfriend. And by the way, he stank this
They
past
said
weekend.
Alvo Sting, and he talked all
I
that stuff.
showed y'all his before picture. He looked like a regular smegular, um, sagging with his dun showing that don't look spiffy. Your
But
teeth
you
are
talked that
yellow,
stuff about Shamar stanking and stuff. Like you should have been
and
saying
that's why Shamar been coming back left and right. Like you talking about me, and you you know better. Like you know better. So please stop. You came in here doing those things because. And he even said it one time. He was like, with your exes, with this boyfriend and that boyfriend, you took care of them. You bought them a lot of stuff, blah, blah, blah. But he literally put you in different clothes, made sure you look nice when you go out with him. Boy, please stop. I don't know. But those are all signs of toxicity. If you are going to be with somebody and they using you and I see it's a way to use somebody and it's okay. And I'll end with this. Everybody uses somebody. I use Rose every week on Tuesday. She uses me every week on Wednesday. She can call me for anything and use any resource that I have, anybody around me that I love, and some people I don't even know. If you ask me for something and I could give it to you, I could teach you about it, I could do any of those things, I'm going to do it. We all use and need each other. There's nothing wrong with these words that we have until people turn them bad by the bad things that they do. But we're supposed to use each other's resources. That doesn't even make any sense. But when you're on one side or you start to get to think your side is greater when it's truly not, then it's a problem. And you need to have some humble pie. Or I got the answer. You ready? You ready, Rose? I got the answer. What you think the answer gonna be, Rose? If it's not work, what's the answer?
to what?
If it's not working, what's the answer?
Oh, I'm thinking you about to ask a question. I'm like,
I'm about to tell everybody the perfect answer. If
okay,
something is not working,
leave it alone.
holy shit. It's just that easy. It's
Like, leave it
just
alone.
that easy. Even if a person has absolutely nothing on you that they could use,
Yeah, leave it
guess
alone.
what? guess what it looks like when you do stuff like this. You see, I would never work with him. I would never allow him around me. I would never do any of those things because you just showed me you're below a snake, cannot be trusted. You gather information and you are a blood sucking snake. I would never have you anywhere, or I wouldn't book you for nothing. I wouldn't have you around me at all because you just showed your character.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy how that works. That's just me. We got to make green choices.
Right.
So, Rose, any last thing for you? By the way, we ended on time tonight.
Oh, that's good.
Oh my goodness. Any last things from you? A real leech.
Yeah, that is a real lead. No, don't. I guess everybody needs to should have taken notes on all that stuff, so you can know what it is to be in a toxic relationship if you never knew.
I didn't know those things
But
were
I think
toxic, but
some people should know. Like some of that stuff is common sense, but I think some people just want to be in a relationship so bad, or they can't be by themselves. They'll take anybody in all that foolishness just to say, "Oh, I got a girlfriend," or "Oh, I got a boyfriend," or whatever, a husband or a wife, and it's not even worth it.
it's not. If it's not worth it and it truly makes you feel horrible and you express, because here's the thing, I will be fair with the person that I am talking about that did a couple of these. Um, I don't think that they necessarily know how to navigate that space yet because some things are attributed by how you came up was mostly around you, the environment you were in, and things like that. So I don't think it was malicious or anything like that. I think it was them actually trying to communicate. Here's where the concern comes for me is if I do something, right? Because I think this is the way that it should be done, and it doesn't work for you the way I'm doing it and it's something that I was doing for you, and you tell me that, then I shouldn't be offended. I should want to know how it is best received by you so that we can have trust, communication, understand each other, and all of those things. But if you're dead set on staying the way that you are, despite how I feel, it's just another mark on the side for me that you're not my person
Mm-hmm.
because my person wouldn't want to do this to me. They would actually care that I'm expressing these things and we meet somewhere in the middle, or at least you understand that I do care about what you feel. I want you to be able to communicate that to me, but this is how it would feel better to me. Because those things were all toxic. And we learned that when some of those things I've experienced quite a few times and I didn't know they were toxic. I was given excuses for some of them, like, oh, they just don't know better. Oh, this. But after going through therapy, I learned there's a cutoff point for that. Just like with a toddler, right? You potty train them at a certain point because at a certain point, you're not going to keep dealing with that shit. It's a
Mm-hmm.
time to move on. And if you can identify that this is the reason why I do this, or that's all I've ever known, then you've identified that there's something wrong with it. And if you're not willing to change it, be open to it, work through it, and it might not get it right the first time, then you have some work to do before trying to be in a relationship. So take a minute. That way you give somebody your best self. Because otherwise, you're going to start feeling frustrated like Alvo did. I think he started feeling frustrated because Shamar was going up and up and up, and he wanted to have the same things that mirrored him, kind of like a Portia and Shamia, because that's going to go wild. We'll talk about that next week. And the person gets tired. They get tired real quick, and then they start to backlash because if I can't reach you, let me knock you down real quick. Let me bring you down and keep you on this hamster wheel with me versus you trying to move forward. And that doesn't feel good. It does start to make you feel like you less than, and you try to figure things out when you love people. But everybody that loves you the best way they can is not the best way for you. And I'll leave you with that. Love don't hurt like that. I'm just saying. So that is it for tonight. Make sure that you like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're listening to this in replay, make sure you comment below because I've been responding to all of the comments. And I probably will until I become viral. I'm just saying. Then it's scary. It's scary. I'm going to try though. So have a good night and happy Tuesday. Welcome to Hump Day tomorrow.